Today's session is assessment field documents. Today you will be hearing from Robert Crudup and Jennifer Lewis as we go through each form to answer 3 questions. What is this form? Where do you find it? When do you use it? And where do you turn it in? Okay, Robert, this is the hazardous condition form. Could you please tell me where you would get this form?
In the production office.
And when would you use this form? What conditions would have to be present to use this form?
A hazardous condition. If it's needed to be noted, this is where you put that information. This is the form that information goes on.
So if there's an immediate hazard, a potential hazard, if there was a hazard that was going to lead to a deferral, would that also be noted?
Yes, this is where that will be documented along with the pictures and turned to the intake department.
Okay, so once this form's completed, you turn it in when?
On the assessor's end day.
This is the combustion safety form. Where would you find this form, Robert?
This one is attached to the audit book.
And when would you use this form?
You use it at time of assessment or any time in the field operation when you're doing the test on the heating unit or the house.
Okay. And when would you turn this form in?
This is actually turned in on your end day with your paperwork because it's attached to the audit book.
This is the mold and moisture checklist.
This form is included in every audit book.
And when would you fill out this form?
Must be filled out in every assessment or by every assessor in every assessment.
And when would you turn in that form?
This form is handed in with the audit book. It stays in the audit book and is handed in to the supervisor on the end day.
Jennifer, this is the consumer education document. Where would you find this form?
This form is also included in the audit book that is taken into the field by every assessor. You fill out this form at every assessment with the client and making sure that you read the client, make sure they have an understanding of each page and that they initial the bottom of each page.
Okay, and when would you turn that form in?
These must also be turned in with the rest of the audit book on the assessor's end day to the supervisor.
This is the client acceptance form.
This form is also included in the audit book that is taken into the field by the assessor.
And when do you use this form?
This form must be filled out in its entirety. It's a very important form. It's important to go over with the client and get the client initials on all the separate sections that are on this form.
Okay. And when would you turn this form in?
This form also must be turned in on the assessor's end day to the supervisor.
This is the ASHRAE 62.2 existing condition form. Robert, where would you find this form?
Digital. This is also used at the time of assessment.
Okay.
And it's also turned in on the end day with all your field documents for supervisors review.
ASHRAE 62.2 field notes. Where would you get this document?
This document is attached to the audit form.
And when would you use that?
At the time of assessment, this is where you gather all your information for the spreadsheet that you will see later. It's also turned in with the audit book at the time of your end day for review.
This is the ASHRAE 62.2 spreadsheet. Where would you get a copy of this?
This is actually found digitally, and every assessor, final inspector, supervisor should have a copy on their computer. You would complete this after the assessment was complete and all the information was gathered in the home, and this will help you calculate what size fans are actually needed in the home. You would actually print a copy after all the data has been entered and turn that in with your audit book and the rest of the assessment to your supervisor on your end day.
Rental agreement. Robert, where would you find this form?
In the production office.
And when might you use this form?
This form is very unique. This form is actually used in the case of when you go out to the home and it's a single family home, but you find there multi units there. This is the form to capture that information.
And who needs to sign this document?
The landlord or owner has to sign this document with photos proving the situation there, pictures that show multi-openings, multi-bathrooms, multi-heating units, and multi-utility like the gas or the light.
If you do need this and you have to fill it out, where would you return it and when?
You return it on your end day. That particular file will actually go straight to intake before approval for what's the next step on the client's file.
Okay, and does the assessor still assess the whole home?
Yes, you have to assess the whole home, and that determines whether we can pot of money that's attached to that house.
Okay, all right, thank you.